don't forget to click that subscribe and bell icon to receive a notification each time I upload a new video. Hi everyone, it's Mike here. So it's the third Saturday in the month, which means it's time for a brand new mid-month mini mission inspiration over in our Facebook group. I know that is a bit of a mouthful. So this month, the randomizer machine created for us by Ian chose the letter N. So the words we've got are negative, numbers, nostalgia, nugget, and nautical. So as per usual, I will be creating a art tag to go in my tag journal, as I have done for all year so far. So what I'll do is I will turn over to my other camera and show you what I'm going to create using the letter N. Okay, so first things first, this is the tag journal that I've been creating all of my mid-month mini missions in for the year 2020. So as you can see, it's now getting quite full. So there's 10 in there so far, one for each month that we've done. I've got my tag ready that I've created using the box or the cardboard from a box of biscuits for Mr. Bentley. And I've actually used the front cover, the acrylic front cover, as my template to draw around and cut out for the tag, which is what I do. So I will be using the same, or will be creating another tag next year. So thinking ahead, I've already got one set up now. This is the last of my acrylic covers that I have, so I needed to get some more. So I asked my friends who cut my stencils for me to cut the tag shape in a piece of quite thick acrylic. Now this is about 2mm, but I'm not sure what that is in Imperial. But I also got them to do one in MDF for me, so I've actually got a nice kind of rigid base and the cover, which also would serve as the template too. So I'm thinking of adding these to the website. So if you're interested in joining me next year in creating the art tags, and you'd like to have one of those acrylic front covers and template to draw around and cut out to create your tags with, then just let me know in the comments section below, and I will sort that out and get those on the website before the start of 2021. But like I said, if there's enough demand for it, then I will definitely do it. So with the MDF back, the acrylic front, and I'll either supply a ball chain like this or a book ring. So you'll get the complete set. So like I said, let me know in the comment section below if that is something that you would be interested in. Okay, so that out of the way, I've got my piece of cardboard that I've already cut and shaped to the right size. What I need to do is to cover the back, which I'm going to do first because otherwise I will forget. So to do that, I've done exactly the same thing again, just drawn around or cut a piece of, this is Coordinations cardstock in a kind of blue colour. So I'm going to go for the word nautical, which is why I've chosen the colour blue. Just grab a glue stick. I'm just going to use dry glue for this today. So I'll just turn that over and then I can just run that right the way around the outside. Get that out of the way first of all. And then I won't have to remember to do it at the end. Because I'm terrible at forgetting to add the backs. This is one of the great things about using product packaging like biscuit boxes, is A, you don't have to buy anything because you've already bought it, and B, you're using up and kind of recycling, which is even better. I'm just seating that, make sure that it goes all the way around. If it's not quite exact, that's fine, I can always adjust it later. Had a bit of glue on there, just get rid of that. Bit of a clean up. Of course, you could always add your back after you've done all the artwork on the front, which would cover any mess, but I kind of like to see the journey or the evidence of what you've been creating. So a little bit of glue on there, look. Mind you, it's going to get covered up when I stick that on the back anyway, so duh. Right, so that's the back sorted out already. Flip over and we can get started on the front. Okay, so to start off with then, I'm going to be covering the tag with some white paint. So this is Snow White or Titanium White from Deco Americana range. So I'll just give that a bit of a shake up. And just add some of that to my worktop. Move that stencil out of the way. That was a bit of a sneak peek, wasn't it? And I'm going to just add some of that white all the way over the tag. I didn't really want to use gesso, but I could have, just to add a bit of a base colour. And as you can see, I'm just going quite haphazard over the surface of the tag. Not being particularly careful, because I kind of like that half and half. I don't want it flat, that's what I'm trying to say really, I suppose. I don't want a matte white finish on it. I want to be able to see a bit of the texture in the brush strokes as to how it was actually built up. And I'm not going to go right to the edge either. I may have to just at the bottom, just down there, maybe a little bit over, but I want to see a little bit of that craft kind of colour coming through. So that's going to be my white base for the tag. So now that that's done, I get that dried off, get this cleared up, and then I'll be back. Okay, so my tag is dry, that white paint is now dry, so I've got a nice base on there. I have actually gone around and just distressed the edge or sanded the edge just to get rid of any kind of paint that did lick over the edge, but hey ho. Right, so as you can see, I've got my gel plate out. So I'm going to start trying to build up a kind of background using my gel plate. So it's not clean. I hadn't cleaned it since the last time that I'd used it, so to be honest, I don't really mind if there's a little bit of residue, particularly if it's the same kind of colour as what I'm going to be using the next time. So hey ho. So I'm just going to leave that as it is. That's it, that should do. Right, so because it's a nautical theme, I'm using blues, like I said before. So I've got 3 colours of Deco Americana, Indian turquoise, peacock teal and true blue. So I'm going to start, oh, of course I've got my brayer. So I'm going to start with the lightest colour first. And I'm just going to add a couple of dots of that onto the plate. And then just, that's it, just like that. And then I'm going to add some of the turquoise. And we'll go over the top of that. And then add some of that true blue. But not a huge amount. Okay, and we'll see what that gives us. So I'm going to drop the tag directly over the top, give it a gentle push, and then we'll just peel that up and see what we've got. Haha, I like it. So we need a little bit putting in the top up there, just get that covered, and then we can pick up some just at the bottom just to get a little bit more kind of mottled. That should do us, I think. I'm happy with that as the first go. So I can get that cleaned off. I could just do a quick pull, but I don't want to. So let's quickly give that a quick clean. I suppose you can't quickly give it a slow clean, can you? That should do, and then just gently, there we go. Okay, so I've got that real nice kind of blue mottled effect, so I want to add a little bit more white to it. So a couple of drops, that should do. And then a little bit of colour coming up from the brayer. Not really getting that much of an effect, so let's add a bit more. Yeah, so we're picking up a little bit more white on that, which is good. Okay, so let's just add a teeny drop of that blue. Add some up there and then some down at the bottom, just to kind of give us a bit more depth in that background. I think that's going to be it. I think that's going to do us. So all I'm doing is just spraying a bit of water onto the plate, just to kind of loosen everything. And then theoretically just grab some kitchen roll. There you go. And that'll be it for the plate for now. Okay, so I'll pop that to one side. And then we just need to make sure that we get this dry. So I'll be right back. Okay, so there's the dry tag. So you've got that fantastic build-up of the paint layers on the background now, and it's an effect that you can't get doing anything else. Even if you were sponging with a natural sponge, you'd never really get that same kind of build-up of the different layers that you can actually see through the layers to the colours underneath. It's the only thing you can really get by using a jelly plate. It's great stuff. Love it to bits. Okay, so next I'm going to be using my Dotty Wave stencil, and I'm going to add some like a wave effect, just using the dots and some white paint in the background. So I'll add some to my craft mat, and I've got a Tim Holtz Distress Ink foam, and I'm going to just load up the sponge and the foam, and I'm going to go through the stencil, because of course with it being a sponge it does soak up the paint. So you can either spounce, which is bouncing up and down, or you can just go around and lay your paint down. Just like that. And I like how it almost looks like fishes as well. And then I'm just going to lay it over just to kind of get that continuation of the pattern. It's not exact, but it's near enough. enough for me to like. There we go. So yeah, I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. So I think we'll go that way. I might just go over that way as well. Just kind of, yeah, that should do. Just at the edge. Like it a lot, and of course if you just go take that and wash it straight away, you can use it again. And you don't actually waste them. But you can actually wash most of them, even if they've got water-based inks on them. So if you're just using distress ink on them, you can just go wash them, and then you can use them again later. Okay, let me just get that dried off, and then I'll be back to add my focal point. Okay, so now that the background is pretty much dry with those kind of wavy kind of bubbles, I also want to use this stencil from Tim Holtz, the numeric one, because numbers is also on the list, and we're just going to add some of those just in the background as well, just to give it a little bit of difference. So I've just got, what that was, a bit of cotton from the pad. So very, very gently, just with a little bit of a darker colour, I'm just going to lightly go around and add some numbers in. Some of these will get covered up anyway with my focal point, but that's not the point. We'd just like to add a little bit more depth into the project. And like I said, it can be subtle. It doesn't have to be totally in your face. Okay, so we've got the numbers in there too. And now we can add the focal point. So a couple of years ago, the last time Ian and I were in San Diego, we had the opportunity to go whale watching. So we did, and we had the privilege of going out for a full day on a boat and watching the migration of the grey whales off the coast of San Diego. And it was probably one of the most magical days I've ever had. It was absolutely beautiful. I took lots of photographs and lots of video. Unfortunately, I lost all of it because it was on the computer that got stolen when we had the break-in a couple of years ago. So I haven't got a single photo or a single, well I've got one actually, of just me and Ian stood in front of the boat before we went on, but that's it. But that was a physical photo in a frame, you see. So I don't have any other footage or video or pictures of that day, but I've still got the memory, which is worth more than that, I think. So just to commemorate that, I'm going to add this beautiful image of this cute little whale onto my tag. So that's going to be my focal point, and I'm going to use some of this tacky glue. I know I said I was going to use dry glue, but it doesn't seem to want to work with the dryer. When I say dryer, I mean the heat gun. If you use the dry glue, it just seems to come up. I've already had to stick the back down again off camera because it lifted up a little bit. Okay, so we'll just add some of that glue into there. This is Aleene's clear tacky glue. And that should do us. And then I'm going to drop that just down there like that. and just gently give it a rub. And hopefully that will just encourage the glue just to get towards the edges without it seeping out. Just kind of gently manoeuvre it so it's in the spot that I want. There we go. Okay, so I need to leave that for a minute or two just to grab and hold, and then I'll be back. So I think that's had enough time now just to kind of dry and grab. So what I want to do is I've got a black Stabilo oil pencil here. I'm just going to add a little bit of that watercolour pigment onto my craft mat, and I'm just going to activate it with my water brush. And I'm just going to really gently just add a little bit of a shadow just underneath the whale. Just subtly. The beauty of this is you can always go back in and add a little bit more. If you don't think it's dark enough. I think that is good enough. I like that. So I'll just get that cleared up. Not too involved today. I mean, it doesn't look like there's a lot going on there, but when you think about the process of adding the background, the stenciling, adding the bubbles in the background, and then adding the detail with the shadow, there's actually quite a lot. Doesn't look like it, but there is. There's a lot going on there. Okay, so that's kind of tried and given us that kind of watercolory drop shadow underneath the whale. One thing I wanted to try, a little bit of an experiment, which I'm going to do today, is I've got some alcohol ink. This is Pool, and I'm just going to put a drop on my work mat. Just one solitary drop. I've also got some glossy accents, which I'm going to put on my worktop. And I've also got a cocktail stick, or palillos. I'm going to take a little bit of that ink and I'm going to mix it in with the glossy accents. And I'm hoping that it will tint the glossy accents enough and pick it up with the cocktail stick. To be able to create some tinted bubbles. I don't know whether this is going to work, but I'm hoping it will. Mix it with the cocktail stick. So if this does work, then we've got new life for your glossy accents. It means if you can tint them and they set, you can start adding enamel accents in different colours without having to spend a lot of extra money. So let's see if it does work, which I'm hoping, obviously, it does. Okay, let's leave that to dry. Okay, so the answer to the question, can you tint glossy accents? Yes. They're all dry and they've been tinted with that pool alcohol ink. So another use for glossy accents, to create multicoloured enamel dots. There you go. I even put some on the eye as well, just to just to give that eye a little bit of a sheen. Not quite fully dried as the eye, but enough for me to work on and finish doing what I want to do. So what I want to do is just to add a little bit of a darker border all the way around, and for that I'm just going to use good old vintage photo just to kind of give it a bit of a grunge, and just to give it a bit of an antique-y kind of frame. There we go. You notice I've also punched in the hole for adding it to the journal, so we're good to go. So all I need to do now is just to add on my sticker with the letter onto the back. So N for nautical. And I think I'm going to call that a day. I don't really want to add anything else to it. I think it's kind of clean, clear and simple, and definitely nautical but nice. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me create this art tag for the November mid-month mini mission inspiration. If you have, please remember to give the video a thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. And don't forget, you can join us over on our Facebook group. There's about 4,500 or just over 4,500 people in that group at the moment, all sharing and having a go at the art challenges that we put out at the beginning of the month, and also the mid-month mini. So that link is in the description area below. I'll put it on the screen again now. There you go. And just finally, I would just like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. That's all from me for now. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. And bye from Blue. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. Thank you.